They may control the stage of world politics, but not the unscripted moments that broke free of their grip. And what came next were viral clips.
Elon, what the hell are you doing?
Eerie details. And strange slips.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
That showed millions what was never meant to be seen. Forget the speeches. What people remember from Trump's inauguration is Elon Musk's strange salute that had the internet scratching its head.
Thank you.
With his hand over his heart, he raised his arm outward again and again, a motion many compared to a Nazi salute. Critics called it disturbing, while Musk dismissed it as nothing more than enthusiasm, firing back that his opponents need better dirty tricks. To me, it looked less like a harmless slip and more like a calculated move, one designed to stir headlines and keep every eye on him.
My heart goes out to you.
Broken tradition. During Donald Trump's swearing in as the 47th U.S. president, something strange caught the eyes of millions. As Melania stood holding two Bibles, the Lincoln Bible and one from Trump's childhood, he raised his right hand for the oath, but his other hand never touched the books.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute.
The tradition was broken in front of the entire world. Some say it was a rushed moment. Others whisper it was intentional. Why skip the gesture followed by every president before him? Coincidence or a silent message?
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Coded grip. At the Invictus Games, Prince Harry posed beside Melania Trump for what looked like an ordinary photo. But in that still frame, something unusual stood out. His hand was placed carefully inside his blazer, a gesture that appeared deliberate rather than casual. There was no speech attached, no explanation offered, just an image captured and released to the world. That single hand sign is something meant only for those who understand. Unholy presence. This clip needs to be watched with focus. The French president and his wife, Brigitte Macron, are seen attending a church ceremony. At first, everything appears normal, but slowly, their expressions begin to change. Brigitte's eyes take on a strange look, while the president's face twists with visible discomfort, as if something unseen inside the church is disturbing them. It's almost as though a demonic presence was stirring, pressing against them in that sacred place. Reports even claim they left suddenly after the incident. Moments like this make you wonder, what hidden power is strong enough to bring such figures into its grasp? Possessed on stage. The congregation expected an ordinary sermon, but Kenneth Copeland's words quickly shifted into something far more unsettling.
Who do you think you are today?
He began as usual, speaking confidently to the crowd. But then, something dark seemed to take hold. His movements grew jerky, his voice twisted into strange tones.
The blood of this covenant, glory to God!
And his eyes darted wildly, following something unseen. For a few minutes, it was as if he wasn't himself at all. An invisible presence had taken over, controlling every gesture, every word. For a moment, it truly looked like witnessing a man possessed right in front of the world.
They're coming one.
Mysterious actions. Guests expected casual chatter at the Mar-a-Lago dinner, but Elon Musk's focus was locked on something far stranger. A fork and two spoons balanced perfectly on a single finger, held without tremor, without distraction.
Elon, what the hell are you doing?
His eyes remained fixed, expression unreadable, as if calculating angles and weight rather than interacting with the world around him. Shivan Gillis watched, yet the motion seemed detached from ordinary human rhythm, almost mechanical. Musk's presence lingered like a machine operating within human skin, a calculated enigma in plain sight. Smashed in Pulik. So you remember that time French President Macron got slapped in public? Yeah, that happened on June 8th, 2021, in this small town called Tain-le-Hermitage. He was out greeting people, shaking hands, doing his usual public appearance thing, when out of nowhere, this guy Damien Terrell just smacks him in the face. Security jumped on the guy immediately, and Macron was quickly escorted away. But here's the crazy part. He came right back and kept interacting with the crowd like nothing major happened. Secret signal. Katy Perry's tour in Mexico began like any other. Fans cheering, lights flashing, everything full of excitement. But then, something unusual happened. In an instant, Katy's expression shifted, as if she had seen or realized something no one else could. Viewers noticed a strange device in her ear, and whispers spread that it might have been some kind of mind-controlling gadget. For a brief moment, it looked as if she wasn't fully herself, almost taken over. Others believe she may have witnessed something so startling it left her visibly shaken on stage. Christian Bale. When Christian Bale accepted his Golden Globe for playing Dick Cheney, his words weren't what anyone expected. With a sly smile, he thanked Satan for giving him the inspiration to embody the role.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
For me, it didn't sound like a harmless joke. It felt like one of those slips where truth hides behind humor. The delivery was too sharp, too confident, almost as if he meant every word. In that moment, Bale didn't just thank the usual family or crew, he gave credit to something far darker, and the room's laughter couldn't wash away the chill that came with it. Hidden struggle. In Mexico City, a former mayor made a rare public appearance after a long absence and addressed the media. But suddenly, his expression shifted. His face tensed, as if something unseen was pressing in on him. It looked like he was fighting against an inner force, a presence trying to seize control. Then, almost as quickly, he reached for water, took a sip, and carried on as though nothing had happened. But the moment couldn't just be ignored. It might be a sign of his disappearance. Satanic concert. In 2022, Lady Gaga held a concert that left the audience buzzing with unease. The entire stage was drenched in red, the theme carrying a heavy, almost satanic energy that many claimed they could feel in the air. But the strangest part wasn't the lights or the music. It was Gaga herself. Midway through the performance, her expressions shifted. Her eyes grew sharp, her face twisted, and for a moment, it looked as though something else had taken over. It wasn't just performance art anymore. It felt like her own control slipped, and a darker power stepped forward in her place. Hidden rift. On what should have been a flawless presidential moment, Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte shared a scene that left viewers unsettled. As the cameras captured their arrival, Brigitte's hand suddenly pressed against Macron's face, and his startled recoil spoke louder than words. Officials hurried to explain it away as just a joke. To many, it seemed less like a laugh between partners and more like a glimpse into a strained bond, one that couldn't quite be hidden, even on the world stage. Unseen truth. An unknown user recently uploaded a clip that left social media buzzing with confusion. In it, different US anchors, politicians, and senators appear, but one thing stood out: their smiles. Each of them showed the same eerie grin, with teeth that looked strangely alike, almost reptilian in shape. Viewers argued this couldn't be a simple coincidence. To many, it felt like a glimpse behind the curtain, a sign that powerful figures might not be entirely human after all. Lost Joe Biden. At the 2024 G7 summit in Italy, something felt off. While other world leaders were focused and posed for a skydiving photo, former President Joe Biden seemed lost. wandering away from the group with an uncertain expression. It was almost as if he wasn't fully aware of what to do, unsure how to interact with the others. The way he moved, detached and hesitant, sparked a thought. What if this wasn't the real Biden at all? Maybe a double had been sent, confused about the situation, trying to imitate him. LeBron James
is a high-class reptilian shapeshifter, LeBron Lizardman James.
Everyone knows LeBron James for his greatness on the basketball court, but some fans believe there's more to his story. During a press talk, viewers noticed a strange glitch in his eyes. For a split second, the shape seemed to shift, almost reptilian in appearance. It was brief, but clear enough to spark endless debate. Was it just a camera trick, or an unintentional slip revealing something hidden, intentional or not? Moments like this only fuel the belief that even the most powerful figures might not be entirely what they seem. Secret tribute. The UEFA Euro 2024 opening ceremony was loved by millions. But did you notice what slipped by almost unseen? While performing, the choreographers formed a symbol with perfect precision, a tribute to Illuminati power. It happened right in the middle of the performance, hidden in plain sight yet carefully executed. At the time, no one seemed to catch it, but watching the footage back now makes it hard to ignore. The sign is there for those who look closely. Cuff secret. An unknown source once shared a strange clip of former President Joe Biden during a public event. Everything looked normal until the camera zoomed in on his cuff. For just a moment, something tiny, like a snake, slipped out and then disappeared back inside. Viewers were left puzzled, yet this moment was never brought up in the media. People believed he was surely connected to some otherworldly powers in mysterious ways, but this was always kept a secret. Georgia eye roll.
Little exchange between Italian Prime Minister Giorgio Meloni and Emmanuel Macron. I'm not sure what's going on here. See if you can work it out.
At the G7 summit, cameras caught a moment that caused endless whispers. Emmanuel Macron leaned close to Giorgia Meloni, covering his mouth as he spoke. But instead of smiling or nodding, Meloni rolled her eyes in a way that said more than words ever could. No statement was given. No explanation offered, and that left one burning question. What exactly did Macron say that Georgia simply couldn't hide her reaction to?
That's exactly how I would react if I were Trump and Albanese rocked up at the White House.
Handshake game. Donald Trump's handshakes became just as famous as his speeches. From Japan's Shinzo Abe to France's Emmanuel Macron.
Call it what you will. The pull in, the tug, the yank and pull.
World leaders often found themselves caught in Trump's long, forceful grips. The handshakes weren't simple greetings. They turned into tugging matches and strained smiles that cameras couldn't miss. Some called it his unique style. Others saw it as a show of dominance on the world stage. Whatever the case, Trump's handshakes always made headlines.
What are they? Please, look at me.
Mysterious handshake. After finishing his speech in North Carolina, former President Joe Biden turned to his side and stretched out his hand, but no one was there. The cameras caught him standing alone, as if greeting someone invisible.
God bless you all.
The moment lasted only seconds, yet it felt uncanny, like he was caught between two worlds, responding to something only he could see. Whether it was a slip, a habit, or something stranger, the image stayed in people's minds. A handshake with the unseen. Unreal royal family. Another day, another mystery in the royal family. But this one feels different. On social sites, a clip went viral showing Prince Harry and Meghan at an event, waving to the crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, you must put your right foot behind your left foot and bend.
But Meghan didn't look real. Her face, her expressions, everything seemed more like a lifelike clone than the actual person. Before you jump to conclusions, let me clear one thing. This wasn't truly the royal family. It was revealed to be actors wearing hyper-realistic masks for a public play. Still, here's the creepy part. If masks this real can fool people in a performance, who's to say when we're seeing the real royals? and when it's just another clone.
That's cool or creepy? That's creepy.
I like creepy.
Did you see that elevator?
Mysterious sign. Mark Zuckerberg was in an interview when he took off his hoodie and revealed something unusual. Inside was a round symbol, carefully stitched like a hidden mark. Shapes formed around an eye in the center.
And this weird symbol in the middle that is probably for the Illuminati.
A design often linked to power and secret groups. It wasn't meant for the public, just kept close to him. The moment was brief, but the image stayed in people's minds. To me, it didn't feel like just a hoodie, it looked like a secret badge. A sign of something deeper.
Oh my God, it's like a secret cult.
Heated conference. During an official event, things took an unexpected twist when Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky got into a heated exchange with U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance.
You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
The tension between them was obvious, their words sharp, and neither seemed willing to back off. But just when it looked like the moment might pass, President Donald Trump joined in.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
Suddenly, the focus shifted from Vance to Trump, and the clash between Trump and Zelensky became even more intense.
You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
It wasn't politics as usual. It felt more like a standoff, with both sides determined to have the last word. Shapeshifter. On the red carpet of a glittering award ceremony, the cameras caught something truly strange. A woman walked past, but in the blink of an eye, her body seemed to shift. Her shape changed so quickly, it almost slipped by unnoticed frame, flickering, as if she wasn't fully human. For a second, it looked like her form broke away from reality, before snapping back again. Just a glimpse of a shapeshifter caught on camera. Reptilian Hillary. At a public event, Hillary Clinton seemed normal, but a camera caught something strange. Her eyes moved in a way that didn't look human. Even her small movements and tongue seemed different, like something was hiding under her skin. The moment lasted only a few seconds, but it was unforgettable. For a short time, the ordinary disappeared, and something hidden was revealed. It felt like a glimpse of another world, a secret layer behind the face everyone thinks they know. Silent command. Some of our senators seem to speak only the words given to them by unseen powers. In this clip, one senator is mid-speech when behind him, a man makes a clear Illuminati hand sign, almost like a silent command. Say only what we told you to say. This secret may stay hidden for now, but one day, the truth will surface. Press conference glitch. During a press conference, Senator Mitch McConnell stood before the cameras, speaking as usual, when suddenly he stopped.
This week has been good bipartisan cooperation.
His body went still, his face froze, and his eyes locked forward as if focused on something unseen. For long seconds he stayed there, silent and unmoving, while the room carried on around him. It didn't look like a normal pause or a simple slip. It felt more like he had caught sight of something beyond the reach of everyone else, maybe someone who controlled them.
Do you want to say anything else to the press?
Mid-conference stuck. Reporters expected the usual post-game chatter, but Draymond Green's interview took a turn no one saw coming. He suddenly froze mid-interview.
I was a little down when I found out I was injured and I had to have...
His body stayed still, his eyes fixed, and he didn't move for several seconds, while the rest of the press conference carried on as if nothing happened. Only when his partner called his name did he return to normal. No one knows exactly what happened. Was he somewhere else, lost in thought, or did a strange glitch occur? Maybe a brief glimpse into another state of mind, a moment outside ordinary reality.
I have amazing teammates. You know, guys like Draymond, everybody on this team, they...
Frozen Joe Biden. At a Juneteenth concert on the White House lawn, former President Joe Biden suddenly froze in place. Music played, people clapped. But he stood still, silent and unmoving, his gaze locked on nothing. For long seconds, he looked less like a man at a celebration and more like a figure trapped in pause. When he finally stirred, his words came out heavy, almost drifting. One of those clips that makes you wonder if you really saw what you just saw. Unknown woman. Watching this video gives a clear hint that powerful people are not really the way they are shown to us. At a press conference where senior congressmen and senators were present, there was also a woman who is often seen with them. But this time, her eyes looked different, and slowly her smile and whole expression changed, as if it wasn't really her, but someone else wearing a mask. People's opinions were the same, that reptilian powers control all of them. Interview. Halt. Kourtney Kardashian's live interview on Australian TV started normally, but then something strange happened. In the middle of answering, her attention snapped away from the hosts. She suddenly froze.
What? Okay.
I'm sorry, is there someone talking to you?
Yes, sorry.
Hello, Kourtney, have we lost you?
Her eyes fixed on one spot in the room, completely ignoring the questions. For long seconds, she didn't move or speak, almost as if someone, or something, had entered and stunned her into silence. The moment felt unsettling, and viewers were left asking the same question. Who was in that room? And what could possibly hold her in such a trance? Live on air, with millions of people watching.
One of the presenters was trying to keep it going. One of the presenters could see that perhaps it was time to wind it up.
Frozen Jalen Rose. When cameras focused on Jalen Rose, fans expected his usual charm, but what they saw instead felt unsettling. He stood completely frozen. No blinking, no breath, no natural movement at all. For many, it looked less like a man and more like a robot clone standing in his place. The clip spread quickly, fueling theories that Rose was some kind of robotoid hiding in plain sight. Later, when asked about it in an interview, Rose denied the claim.
I'll let people know that I actually pay attention to my job, and I'm serious about it.
But his answers only raised more questions. No clear explanation, no real detail, just enough mystery to keep the rumors alive. Reptile glimpse. Caroline Kabikis, the German comedy show host loved by many, gave fans a moment they didn't expect.
Ich weiß, Donald Trump. Genau.
In the middle of her performance, her eyes seemed to flash a strange sign, one that conspiracy theorists quickly recognized. For a brief second, her gaze appeared to shift, switching between human and something far less human, reptilian. Viewers claimed it was a clear glimpse into the power these beings hold, leaving everyone to wonder if she really is connected to something otherworldly. Who else might already be under their control? Slow walk. On Halloween night in 2013, Lady Gaga left her London hotel in a way that instantly puzzled fans and cameras. Instead of walking out normally, she moved at an unnaturally slow pace, every step deliberate, almost trance-like. For a moment, it looked as if someone had pressed pause on her body while the world continued around her. Some claimed it was a sign of mind control. Others whispered about glitches or other worldly influence. But those closer to the art world pointed out she was practicing Marina Abramovich's slow-motion walk, a performance technique meant to test control and endurance. Mystery behind. Y'all remember the Hillary Clinton presidential campaign? I've got a video from that time, and it's one of the strangest things ever caught on camera. While Clinton is speaking to the crowd, a woman stands behind her, seemingly normal at first, but then her eyes shift, turning completely white, blank, like a machine switched on. She remained still for several moments, frozen, almost as if under someone else's control. Nobody seemed to notice it at the time, but watching it back now feels unsettling. Was she security or something far stranger? Whatever it was, that moment refuses to be explained. Pope Francis. Our late Pope Francis lived a life surrounded by many controversies, but one of the strangest surfaced just a day before his passing. As he was being wheeled out in a wheelchair, cameras caught something unusual. For a brief moment, it looked as though he didn't just have 2 hands, but 3. A hidden hand seemed to slip out, then quickly pull back, almost as if trying not to be noticed. If you watch closely, the moment is undeniable. What do you think about it? Let me know what you think. Secret sign. A Peruvian model once appeared at an event with her boyfriend, smiling and posing like everything was normal. But then, in front of everyone, she made a small gesture that turned the moment chilling. With her fingers, she formed what looked like a secret cry for help. Strangely, since that very event, she vanished from the public eye, completely gone, with no updates, no sightings, nothing. It's as if she slipped into the shadows right after sending that silent signal. The mystery remains unsolved. Frozen live. Live television is full of unexpected moments, but nothing quite like this. On the Today Show in 2013, Al Roker stood alongside his co-hosts, smiling, nodding, and then
The junior high it's like this.
everything stopped. His body stiffened, his face froze, and his eyes went wide, locked in place like a figure switched off. For nearly 11 seconds, he didn't blink, didn't move, didn't react, while the conversation around him carried on as if nothing was wrong. It wasn't a pause. It wasn't natural. It looked like a system glitch. A man suddenly turned into a mannequin before snapping back as though nothing had happened.
35 years ago today, Elvis Presley passed away.
Blink storm. In Russia, at what seemed like an ordinary event, something unusual unfolded. A model stood before the crowd, all smiles and poise, until her eyes began to blink rapidly, unnaturally fast, as if caught in a loop. For a few seconds, it looked less like a person in control and more like a machine glitching, a robot malfunctioning in plain sight. Then, just as suddenly, everything returned to normal, leaving the audience unaware of the strange display that had just played out. Trump's hand. A clip of Donald Trump's hand once spread across the internet, sparking endless questions. As the camera zoomed in, his skin looked far from normal. A strange patch appeared, something hidden that didn't quite belong. It wasn't the mark of a simple handshake or a scrape. It looked concealed, covered, almost disguised. For a moment, the close-up felt less like ordinary footage and more like a glimpse into something not meant to be seen. The mystery wasn't in what he said that day, but in what his hand silently revealed to the world. Putin double. During the Alaska summit, Vladimir Putin met with Donald Trump, but something seemed off. The man acting like Putin moved differently. His usual walk was missing, his left hand moved strangely, and his expressions looked unusually cheerful. His face even seemed a little fuller than normal.
Mr. President! President Putin!
Some people online quickly suggested this could be a body double, noticing small differences that didn't match the real Putin. Trump himself looked a bit surprised, as if something wasn't right. Whether it was really a double, or just how he appeared that day, the moment left many viewers confused and talking.
In the press conference, Vladimir Putin looked chipper. He looked upbeat.
Raw onion.
Abbott has talked about why he bit into a raw onion last week.
Former Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott went full weird back in March 2015 at Charlton Farm Produce in Tasmania. Out of nowhere, he just picked up a raw onion and chomped the whole thing, skin and all. Cameras caught the entire bizarre moment, and honestly, it looked kind of surreal. There he was, a world leader, casually eating an entire onion like it was nothing, leaving everyone watching completely stunned. Dodging shoe. Remember that time George Bush literally dodged a flying shoe? Yeah, back in December 2008, during a press conference in Baghdad, some Iraqi journalist just lobbed his shoes right at him. And Bush? He ducked like a pro, totally unbothered. World leaders dodging shoes isn't exactly an everyday thing. After avoiding both shots, and then continued on with a conference like nothing happened.
If you want the facts, it's a size 10 shoe.
Red Eye Queen. At a polo match, the former queen's left eye caught attention. It had a sharp, almost reptilian glow, unlike anything around her. The crowd cheered and moved on, unaware of the subtle shift in her gaze. That single look seemed to hold a quiet, ancient power, a presence beneath her calm face. We'll never know what goes on in the lives of such powerful figures, but to keep moving forward, perhaps they do things the rest of us can't even imagine. Mysterious gaze. Maxine Waters was at a press conference, and at first, everything seemed normal, but soon, people noticed something was off. She froze in one spot, completely zoned out. I understand that anyone can zone out, but at that moment, if you look closely at her neck, something unusual appeared, like her skin was quietly burning. She stood there calmly, as if seeing something invisible to everyone else, even now. What truly happened to her remains a mystery. Private talk. During the White House summit on August 18, 2025, a hot mic caught President Donald Trump whispering to French President Emmanuel Macron that Russian leader Vladimir Putin wants to make a deal for me.
Yeah, I think to set up a trilateral, you know, so.
This happened right after Trump's meeting with Putin in Alaska, where no official breakthrough was announced, but talks about peace were underway. The following day, Ukraine's President Zelensky and EU leaders joined Trump in Washington to discuss possible security guarantees. But here's the strange part. Why would Trump casually admit something like this on a hot mic? Unless it was never really a mistake. Trial glitch. During the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, one of the lawyers suddenly began acting in a way no one could explain. His expressions twisted strangely, almost like his body wasn't fully under his own control. Even Johnny Depp looked stunned, clearly caught off guard by what was happening right in front of him. Those who noticed were left wondering what exactly took place in that moment. Leaders gossip. So, at the NATO summit in London, the cameras caught world leaders totally cracking up behind Trump's back. Trudeau, Macron, Boris Johnson, and the Dutch PM were laughing about how long Trump's press conferences went on. Trudeau even called it jaw-dropping. Everyone was just losing it. Unfiltered and human. Later, Trump found out and called Trudeau two-faced. But Trudeau just played it cool. Classic hot mic moment showing leaders being real when they think no one's listening. Mysterious guard. Former President Barack Obama was giving a speech at a ceremony when a strange clip surfaced. The camera, instead of staying on Obama, briefly focused on one of his guards. And that's when things turned unusual. His ears, his expression, the way his face moved. It didn't seem human at all. For a split second, it looked more like a reptilian figure standing there in disguise, watching over the crowd with something beyond ordinary power. A reptilian guard protecting a world leader? That's a mystery people are still trying to figure out. The subscriber's pick. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. Elon Musk was at this high-profile event, surrounded by big-name guests, but his behavior was anything but normal. Out of nowhere, his eyes started rolling slowly left, right, up, down, like a robot. Totally not human.
How much of it that is laid out today can he actually do? How much will his team, which is actually...
The footage went viral, and people couldn't stop talking about it. Some said it was just Musk's weird way of observing everything, while others think it wasn't even him, that it was a clone quietly watching or recording the whole scene with hidden cameras.